morning. This is Paula Rollins with Paula Rollins Coaching, and we're trying to figure out, we're under construction in our kitchen, and I'm running out of space. So we're going to talk about, we're actually going to make, not just talk about, we're going to make Brussels sprout salad. So this is something that, thanks for your patience, Cindy. Poor Cindy stepped in while I was accidentally pushing buttons. So, hi Tracy Lee. So this is a salad that you see a lot in the deli section at the grocery store, and like, oh, that looks really good. And a lot of people don't really like Brussels sprouts. This is a way to dress them up so that they're a little more fun and interesting to eat. And I love roasted Brussels sprouts too. And in the summer, and there are the good things about crucifers that you cook and also raw. So I love summer because this is when our bodies love fresh foods. And this is when we have fresh foods the most, and this is the healthiest time to eat them if you look at the Ayurvedic aspect of things, which is, you know, it's body-centric eating. So I pre-prepared a few of the things so we're not on here for a long time, but we're gonna get right to it and talk about how to make this a delicious thing that's easy and inexpensive to make at home. It's super, super good. Antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, really helps balance. Brussels sprouts are really good for balancing your blood sugar. We've got, in the dressing, we've got oranges and lemons that are gonna be good citrus, good vitamin C. So, and it's anti-cancer too. So this is just a generally really, really healthy thing, and it balances hormones too. So if your hormones are going all over the place, a lot of times it's because your blood sugar is going all over the place too. So this is a really great salad to have, and this is another one that you can have, as long as you don't eat it all first, that you can have in your refrigerator to keep on hand for a whole week. So first question is, do you like Brussels sprouts? So you're going to the grocery store today, perfect timing. So we'll get into the recipe. So it's 24 ounces, just, you know, a little, like a pound and a half of Brussels sprouts. And I use my food processor. I saved a couple. I was checking to make sure what shred to use. So I am using the blade, not the shredding ones like for cheese shredder. I'm using the larger blade for this. If you use a food processor, or you can just slice them. It really doesn't take all that long, but I'm cheating. I did snip the ends off these first. If you can get organic, great. Cabbage and cole crops are crops that are usually sprayed more heavily because of the aphids more than anything else. So you want to make sure that you get organic whenever possible. So we're just going to a little bit of noise, quick do these last couple. And then this is just so easy. You can, in some grocery stores, not ours, but in some grocery stores you can actually, getting the blade out is challenging sometimes. You can actually buy it pre-shredded, and if that's the case, you can go for that and make it even easier on yourself. So, do you guys like Brussels sprouts? Is this something that is a love of yours, or is like, ew, I'm trying to find a way to use this and actually like it? This is actually a request from my teenager. I said, I wonder what salad I'm going to make tomorrow. She says, oh, make that Brussels sprout salad. I love that. So now she's a vegetarian, so we're going to do a little twist on this because bacon is one of the common ingredients, and I'm just going to do a little quick chop on this. So the other main ingredients, we got a couple of big slices, so I'll just chop those up. We want to also add a cup of red onion slices. So we'll just quick do that, and I'm using a cutting board that does not absorb the onion flavor because I really don't like onion flavor on all my other foods, especially sweet stuff. So I'm just going to do a quarter slicing on this, and I'm just doing quarter slicing. It's part of it is the aesthetics. So how do you want it to look? And I think when you're using red onion, you should make it pretty. So we'll just put those in like this. They're also, this is for the dressing, so we'll save that. I think that is the only thing, except we're going to add some, I've been toasting some almonds. Let me grab them a second. Okay, and we've got 2/3 of a cup of toasted almonds. I use slivered almonds for this. It doesn't matter which almonds, whatever you want. Oh, been craving cabbage. Now, if your body is craving crucifers, There's a reason. So that probably means that your blood sugar and your hormones are asking to be rebalanced. Hi, Kimberly. And I can't see. Let's see. Can I scroll? I can't scroll. I'm doing this. Okay, that's all right. So there are our main ingredients. Now there's also, you probably see bacon in this a lot. I did prepare the bacon because I want my bacon in it. But my vegetarian in the family doesn't really like that. So I didn't have time, but I'm going to either cook some lentils, because we do want some protein in this. So I'm going to cook some lentils, or I'm going to cook some quinoa, and I'll have that for her to add, and then we can just have that to add as we will. So about 6 slices of bacon. You want to crumble that after it's cooked. And then we're going to add this, we got 2/3 of a cup of some sort of dried fruit. You can pick whatever kind of dried fruit you want. And 2/3 cup. So I like cranberries. Cherries are often a common thing. They're a little bit harder to find. They're a little more expensive. Raisins are okay too. Some sort of dried fruit. It could be dried sliced peaches. Something with some strong flavor, not like apples. Apples are a little bit too bland for that. And then we're going to add, let's see what else is there that we've got that I don't want to miss. Okay, so all we've got left is the goat cheese. We'll add that. I'll dump this in now. So this is, I didn't use goat cheese. I got a request from the daughter for gorgonzola, which is a kind of a blue cheese. Now you don't have to use any cheese at all. I need a knife. You don't have to use any cheese at all, but it does add a little bit of a snappy flavor to it. So, oh my gosh. So here is your salad, just like that, except for the dressing. Now, my husband has my wooden spoons are way up here. I can't get them. I need something else to stir this with. So this is so pretty already. Look at this. Look at the colors in this. Yum, yum. Of course, we're going to stir it, but not yet. We're going to make the dressing first. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to need a teaspoon of zest from my orange. And I have, this is one of my favorite Pampered Chef tools. It doesn't have to be Pampered Chef, but this is a zester. And I'm just going to zest, I'm not even going to measure it. I'm just going to zest right into this. A half a teaspoon or a teaspoon. I'm just going to do about half of the, I'm going to put it in here because we'll mix everything else in here. So I'm going to do about half of the orange. The more zest you have, the more pungent, more strong the flavor is. You want to do this before, we're going to use the juice too, but you want to do this before you juice it because it's really hard. It's really hard to do the zesting part on the skin after you don't have a firm surface anymore. So, you guys familiar with zesting it out? This smells so good in the kitchen right now between the toasted nuts, and I cheated and I used the microwave for the bacon. It took like 3 minutes. So the bacon and the toasted nuts and now this orange zest, yum. So you can see, got about a teaspoon in there. And now we're gonna juice our lemon. Let's see, how much do we need? Oh, okay, so this is easy. We don't even need to measure how much juice we're gonna get. So I'm just gonna cut, and I hand juice these. I do have a juicer, but I don't use it because you also, I was kind of manhandling the orange, you also want to roll on the counter to soften. You want to roll your citrus before you juice it so you loosen up what's coming out. What about cherries? Cherry, absolutely cherries. Dried is a little more strong, but even fresh will do. And this is a really good recipe to use the sour cherries for. A lot of times people don't use sour cherries except for cooking, but this is a great thing to use cherries for. So we'll just quick juice these. And it's a little harder to juice this after zesting. You just kind of have to pick and choose. Oranges are not in season. I don't keep a lot of oranges around right now, so I only bought one. And then you also, to maximize the use for the citrus, is you want to make sure that you use, if you have a garbage disposal, is that you use the peels in the garbage disposal. A raven just flew by. The ravens have been hanging out next door in our backyard, really, over the mulberry tree, and it's so cool to watch them. So now we'll get the lemon juice going. So this is a pretty good amount of juice. We could use orange juice from the fridge, just regular orange juice. there's something about fresh squeezed with the enzymes and the non-processing that really makes it delicious. So I love that my sink is close enough I can just throw things in it. So this smells so good. This is gonna be so delicious. This is quite a bit of dressing, but you can see that it's quite a bit of salad too. So we're actually gonna have quite a bit of oil in here too. I usually run my finger around this just to make sure that we get all the juice. Don't wanna waste any of that yummy stuff, but I don't want the seeds. Okay, so in the juice alone, we've got about a half cup of juice here. Yum. So then we're going to add, we're gonna get right into the olive oil we're gonna use for this. You can also use an almond oil if you'd like, and we're gonna have, it's 3/4 of a cup. Or an avocado oil is also really good. Avocado oil is a little more expensive, but it's such a good fat. So, what did I say? 3/4 of a cup, and we're at a half. This is such fancy measuring. So I'm gonna go to 1 1/4. Slow is good, right? And I use I should get a commission from them because I love this California olive oil and I talk about it all the time. Now we're gonna add a couple of other extras. Now you can use shallots or you can use garlic. I'm gonna use minced garlic and I'm cheating. I'm using the quickie version because why not? And let's see, where did my recipe go? I don't do this very well with my left hand. I'm left-handed, but I don't do that well. Okay, so we want, I think it's a teaspoon. Oh, no, it's 1 tablespoon. That's a lot of garlic. So this is not something that you're gonna wanna eat around anybody but your best friends. This is not something you're gonna wanna eat right before a meeting unless you have a couple of minutes handy. So a tablespoon in there, yum, yum. Garlic is so good. It's such a good anti-inflammatory, and that's also really good for processing with your liver too. And then we're gonna add a teaspoon of regular yellow mustard. If it'll come out, there we go. And again, you don't have to be super exact because we're not baking, but you do want to be close at least. And then the only other thing that we're going to add is some fresh, now this doesn't look like really fresh basil because this came from my CSA and I was drying them. And then I realized, oh, I needed to keep some of that fresh, but it was too late. So they're a little wilty, but they're still going to be delicious in this and they still smell really, really fresh. And I'm going to keep some of the stems. So we'll just finely, thinly slice those. Oh, the smells. If I could give you a smell on this today, the smell of making this is so worth it. This is going to take you about 15 minutes total to make, unless you want to make the quinoa or the lentils for your vegetarian in your family. Again, the bacon, we would add this, but I'm not adding it because of the kid. But this takes 3 minutes in your microwave too. And then we're going to, I guess I'll use, where'd my fork go? Oh, even better. So if you're mixing a salad dressing like this, the oil and the juice or the oil and water mix, if you have a whisk is the best way to get things mixed up nicely. I'm gonna add some salt and pepper and I'm gonna do that once I pour this dressing over. So there's my dressing. And we're just gonna pour this. I wanna take a picture. I'm gonna pour the dressing over. It seems like a lot of dressing and it's all super, super healthy. So don't worry about the quantity of dressing on this. This is good omega-3s. And then we're just gonna stir this up. I really need a different spoon to do this, but it's what I have handy since everything's put away in our kitchen. And it's gonna be like this all summer. So you get to see our progress as we go. And then I'm gonna sit this in the refrigerator for several hours. I'm gonna have this for lunch already. And it's gonna be, depends on if I let my teenager know that it's ready. This is probably only gonna last us about 3 days. So I hope that this is something that looks delicious to you and interesting to try. Make sure that when you do the nuts that you do toast them, and make sure, even if you burn them a little bit on the edges, that's okay. But, so here is our finished salad. Delicious and really nutritious. So again, hormone balance, blood sugar balance, antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, liver support. What could go wrong with that? And if you really don't like the cabbagey crucifer thing, the softness with the fats that we used in the dressing and the citrus, which helps breaks it down, is gonna mute and soften that flavor for you so it won't be so strong. Enjoy this. Let me know how you like it. And what other twists do you think that you'd like to add? You can add some different nuts. You can really play around with this. Oh, salt and pepper. Okay, and you guys don't have to watch me do the salt and pepper, but totally salt and pepper. It smells awesome. It looks awesome. It smells awesome. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to lunch. Fortunately, I've got a couple of meetings that I have to do this morning, so I will make it to lunch. I'll be a good girl. I will see you on the flip side, and we're gonna talk again on Friday. There's some homework. If you haven't looked at last Friday's thing, there's some homework involved before you show up on Friday to bring your best to the game. So take a look at that, and I will see you on Friday. Have a wonderful week. Thanks for tuning in. If you're on the replay, put down replay, and again, thanks for supporting me and getting some good recipes for your good health. Bye-bye for now.